start streaming, and we're live once again. That's intriguing. Okay. Show you my new intro with your host, Demi Sobanjo, streaming live to YouTube. Yo, it actually had the audio. I thought that I didn't have it. It does. Let's go. The audio was there. Ah, that's great. But it was. Let's see that one more time. Let's see that one more time. Yeah. Microsoft Impact Investigation Part 2. Product Fundamental Rights with your host, Demi Sobanjo, streaming live to YouTube. Welcome everybody. We're back. We're back in the studio. We're back in the live channel, and I changed the music. I need to reduce that volume. It's too loud, at least on my side. Okay, that's I think that's better. That what's how's this resolution? Let's see. Why is my quality of video so weird? Or is that something that is on my thing? Let's check. No, that's mine. That's weird. That's weird. Because it looks so fresh on my side, and then on your side it's just slightly worse. And I have double setup. I have a double monitor setup. I don't know if you can see it. Oh no, I just disconnected the double monitor. I have to be careful. Be careful with that. Not gonna lie. And I need to change this resolution because this resolution is not optimal according to YouTube. So let's find that. Let's find that. Check the video resolution. Forget that. Forget that. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not supposed to be showing that. That's my second monitor. Leave that alone. And we're back. So what were we doing again? We were doing the Microsoft Impact Summary Report that we were analyzing and trying to understand what Microsoft is doing. We finished the first section, the section on inclusive economic opportunities, and now we're moving on to protect human fundamental rights. We established that yesterday, that protect fundamental rights is the what they mean by that, or what I see as the definition of that phrase, is to protect the rights that all humans should have, and the privileges that all humans should have. But as always, we'll see how they put their spin on it and do what they in their commitments and in their impact so far in their own report. And we'll fact check them eventually, and I'll state my quarrels with some of the language, because some of it is hard to understand. It's hard to put your finger on what exactly they're trying to say. So I actually have the other camera this time, so I can screen share with you, and you can see what I wrote. And this is word for word. I'm copying directly from the book, the report, and this is what they say as their commitments. Their commitments are as follows: protect and promote human rights, and under that, they aspire to leadership. Aspire to leadership in business and human rights, and serve as a catalyst to be a leader. That has to be to be a leader. To aspire to leadership in business and human rights. Let me try to do that. To be leadership in business and human rights, and serve as a catalyst for actions by others in the tech sector and beyond. Advocate, and in that, the next one they say, advocate for fair and humane immigration policies as an integral part of our society's growth and development, help individuals and organizations in need overcome legal issues through pro bono support in partnership with legal service operations, preserve and enrich cultural heritage by empowering people with and organizations with AI to help them preserve the language we speak, the places we live, and the artifacts we treasure, including through $10 million in grants by 2024. Very intriguing wording that they have used here, because look at how I'll show you why this is some intriguing words that they've used. So in this part here, notice in all of these, except for the last goal, they do not mention numbers. So with unlike the other ones, the ones that we read yesterday. Why am I saying last week? I'm in the weekly mindset, but we did it yesterday. Yesterday we talked about these goals, and where they were talking about bringing to 43 million, 25 million, increase access, no number, but 20, then 2021, so a 5-year commitment, that kind of thing. And in this one, they didn't really say that. They just said aspire to be leadership, advocate for that. Which makes sense, because it's human rights, and it's hard to put a number on human rights, even though there are a set number of human rights. You know what I mean? But like, you can't guarantee what the human rights are, you know. And then not guarantee what you can't guarantee how you can't objectify your support of human rights. In a sense, you either support human rights or don't support human rights. You can maybe exclude some people from human rights, but that's still not really quantifying your support for human rights. Just your quantifying your support of the lack of human rights for some people. So it's not really, so you can't really do that. But we'll continue throughout the rest, where it says preserve, safeguard democracy, preserve, protect, and advance democracy by promoting a healthy information ecosystem, safeguarding electoral processes, and advocating for civic responsibility. This is where it gets dicey. We and my favorite company, Microsoft, get in a little bit of a hassle, a bit of what's it called, of disagreement here, because I don't really think we need Microsoft to be helping our electoral system. Maybe they can help us with how we can count our votes, but not necessarily to safeguard our system, you know what I mean? And make it more secure. If they can do something that it can work, and it's not some kind of ploy to put people in office and stuff like that, or that kind of thing, but it looks like from what I've seen Microsoft do, it doesn't look like they're that bad in their they're not great resets, or we need to control the vote, you know. Support humanitarian action and emergency response. Empower humanitarian organizations and crisis-affected communities to prepare for, respond to, and recover from emergencies, including through our AI for Humanitarian initiative. Let me switch. I need to add a doc for so that we can see chat if it ever shows up. But I didn't advertise this, so like if anybody shows up, then it's out of the goodness of their heart, you know. But let's keep going. So we've gone through the goals, and we'll see how they effectively do these goals throughout the impact part of the portion. So in the next portion, they state that they offered the Workers' Voice Hotline program to 235 countries in our supply chain, increasing 14.9 increase over the previous year, ensuring that 371,597 workers had an anonymous reporting channel for worker grievances. So they have their supply chain. So they're talking about their companies and their companies that are producing their products, the things that are distributing their products, things that are doing the packaging and all the different logistics that are in between that are not directly Microsoft. They have them all across the world and all the different places. All across the world. Why am I saying across the world and across the different places? That makes no sense. It's just repeating the same thing. It makes sense, but it's repetitive, so it doesn't make sense because that you're rambling, bro. Stop rambling. Calm down. But yeah, this worker hotline is something that I did for a project on my first time that I was going through these reports and saw how many reports there are for Microsoft. This is only one of like 8, and in this section alone, all like 6 of them are mentioned. So that's a lot of mentions. And this worker voice hotline, they really are good at the their voice hotline that they're able to and I can't remember what the statistics of the first time, but they were able to the complaints that they received, and they were able to resolve like 96% of the different calls that they received from the worker hotline, or they said they did, and only a few were not taken, and most of them were with regards to pay or long hours or something like that, but not many were as in like my boss is gonna kill me or something like that. So that's good. So it means that Microsoft is not getting people that are dying in a sense, though they in their other documents, their other report called the sourcing report is something that we'll have to go through to understand if they are failing on these regards. And each of these things that we've been going through will have a report that is bigger so that we can dive deeper into these things. But this is more like an intro to the investigation of Microsoft, and we'll eventually go outside of Microsoft's own reporting and go through the history in a sense, or kind of like overview of what the public thinks of Microsoft and the different things in there. But now let's move on. Continued to advocate for immigration reform and the protection and strengthening of the U.S. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA program, including pro bono legal services to 94 DACA clients. Let's quickly get the definition of pro bono. I just need to get that quickly. So if I don't know this already, it means that most likely I'm not going to be in what's it called in law, because pro bono is something as a law term, right? It's just free. Okay, it's free legal work. So you just make people have free legal services. That's cool. And they got it for 94 clients. And let's see how much they're spending. 94 clients. And let's see let's actually search for pro bono Microsoft. And they have a whole website. Like this is why I like these people. This Microsoft, bro. Look, they have a whole thing that is in their legal part of their book. They have a pro bono at Microsoft, working together to close the gap in legal services. Our mission: to inspire and empower Microsoft employees and community partners to create solutions that promote justice while for providing all those in need with access to legal knowledge, resources. We're not actually on the store, bro. Providing for those in need to legal knowledge, resources, and services. The need for pro bono services. In the US, those needing help with a civil legal issue must find and pay for those services. For someone with limited means, this obstacle may become insurmountable. Insurmountable. Many legal aid organizations work to meet the demand, but few can do so on their own. More than ever, pro bono is needed to close the gap in legal services. 9.3 okay. Low-income Washingtonians face an average of 9.3 legal problems in 2014. Triple the Wow. That's a lot of legal problems within 1 year. Bruh. Yo. 86% of civil legal problems reported by low-income Americans received inadequate or no legal help. More than 60% of unaccompanied children in the United States, tens of thousands of children, do not have lawyers in immigration court. In eviction lawsuits nationwide, an estimated 90% of landlords are represented, and 90% of tenants are not. So 90% are, and 90% aren't. Bruh. Across the country. Bro, I need to, no. This has to be, this is cat. That has to be cat. So let's go. We're going to this. We need to understand. We're going down the rabbit hole. We're doing some live investigation as we talk. It's a 2015 study. Let's quickly go through. So housing has gone down, and it's gone. So percentage of below the poverty line, and it has gone from. Okay, so it goes. Wow. So less than 30% has been going down, but has recently gone up in 2013. So that's kind of good. But the poverty line ones, the ones that are spending 50% of their income, have been increasing, and because the both are quite polar of each other, the middle, so 30 to 50%, is mostly stable because it is mostly stable because it's the average of the two, right? So that's what he's saying. And then Figure 2 shows renting households below the and whether they So 67% aren't assisted, 17% are assisted, 15% are in public housing, and 1% are in rent-controlled areas. Okay, so like things that have rent control, that kind of thing. And then, wow, Hispanics are getting evicted like crazy. That's interesting. Wow, they weren't lying. They brought their evidence. They got their sources. Look at these sources, bro. Look at all these sources. Bruh. That's actually kind of crazy. So I see. So what they're doing is kind of cool. Kind of cool, not gonna lie. And we'll do the look. Okay, thank God they're not there. Oh, look, see, I told you. They have a whole report for this one initiative. For a single initiative, they have a whole report. And it's like 12. I looked at the report before. You saw it in my search history. And it's quite big. So let's continue on our journey. But now we go on. And so let's continue. So they've gone with DACA. So the DACA is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. So for those that come in illegally or legally somehow, like it's, or if you're unaccompanied, you're most likely here illegally, but you're in the country, so most likely you shouldn't be ejected immediately, at least. Maybe you need to do some processing, maybe you were in a war-torn country, but technically, I think by international law, you have to go to the nearest safe country. So, I guess I don't know how that works, but because that's what I heard from a Serbian guy or something. No, Austrian. That it was talking about him. He was talking about the Ukrainian refugees and the ones from Africa. Like they have to cross a lot of borders to reach Austria. So why are they getting to Austria instead of going to another country that is safe? So I don't know. But let's continue. Awarded. So I don't have too much information in that sphere. Just letting you know. But also I agree to some extent that if you're in a country illegally, you are not exactly entitled to staying in the country. Just like I don't think people that are not citizens of a country should vote in an election. And it shocked me to see that you don't actually have to have ID to show up to an election. And that's just bonkers. You don't have to have an ID to do an election, to vote. That's just cool. That's just wow. Okay, so let's continue. Awarded $10.75 million in grants to be distributed over 5 years to organizations as part of our AI for Cultural Heritage program, supporting preservation of 2 languages and a project to preserve the ancient culture, ancient Olympia. The culture of ancient Olympia. Wait, let's see this. Wait. They're gonna give us something for this. Let's see what this AI for cultural heritage is. Copy it, and I'll open the thing that we're opened just now, and we'll say Microsoft. We'll have another page. Don't worry. Look, found it. See, another page. They're gonna have another report. It's gonna have another report because they're just so good. Well, maybe they'll have a video even. Like if it has a video, we'll show the video, because that's amazing too. So AI for culture and heritage, and we'll read up about it a little bit, and it's very cool that we're back to the discovery section of this live stream, and we're back to exploring. So we're looking at let's see the blurb. AI for culture and heritage leverages the great power of AI to empower people, organizations dedicated to the preservation and enrichment of cultural heritage. Okay, about the program, you will support specific individuals and organizations through collaboration, partnership, and investments in AI, technology, and resources. Together, we will seek ways that we can help to serve, in which we can help to serve as a catalyst for the preservation and enrichment of cultural heritage across the world. Our commitment has to 10 million to Microsoft Azure. That's their hosting thing, and also their suite of stuff for businesses and organizations, and allows them to do that, and researchers. So look, they experience. Whoa, let's see. I want to see this one right here. This experience ancient Olympia, because I was confused when it said ancient Olympia. I was like, what do you mean ancient Olympia? Isn't that the thing from the Greece thing, right? But they're actually not joking. Like, they actually think ancient Olympia is in the I think let's make sure that's the case. I'm switching back to the talking slide. That went poorly. Oh god, that was crazy. I was just trying to check what the ancient Olympia thing is, and then I guess it's not for the stream to see, or my computer to handle at least. And we're back. We're back, bro. We're back. I'm hoping this thing shows up eventually. But that was a huge catastrophe. Like, look at this. It's just, we're about to get to the thing. And then we're about to check out the new grounds. Let's see exactly where it dies. I want to see exactly where it dies. 3, 2, 1. And it dies there. And then it comes back. Yo. Bro. That's just amazing. I don't know what you're hearing at the moment. 3, 2, 1. Bro, that's cool. That was a sad death. I was just talking about how the stream just died. We're glad to be back. We're glad to be back. It was such an anticlimactic death, you know what I mean? But we're back up and running, and we can get back and I guess not look at ancient Olympia and just get stay on track and go through this document and get through what we're supposed to be doing here. I hope we start getting more frames and start the frames over there. We stop dropping as many frames because we've dropped already 267. So it looks like it's dropping. It's going to 6.6 now % of the stream because we've only been streaming for 2 minutes now again, because it's 39 minutes around on your side, but it's 6 minutes on here. And we're going through the impact section of this document. So we talked about so we're now at the third point where it says provided account guard threat notification in 32 countries protecting 2.5 million accounts of election officials, journalists, human rights organizations, and other essential organizations. I know we're not supposed to. I won't go to common grounds. That's I know that I can't do that. But maybe I can do this. Let's see what account guard is, you know? Let's see how the UI of account guard is. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sorry, bro. Let's switch over to the right one. And we're looking at account guard. And they don't have a website for this one. It's just something that we... Yo! It's also used for Minecraft, I think. I don't know. Or that's something else. But Microsoft Account Guard is a cool thing. It keeps people safe from... It protects democracy through Account Guard. Which I want to see how this... Let's read an excerpt of this article. I need to get these articles and stuff prepared so that we can not have to wait too long and do these things differently. Why isn't the drop frames are still reducing. Let's go. And now we're in account guard, and this has been running since 2018. Today we announced 2 developments in our work to protect critical democratic processes from cyber attacks. First, we disclosed that last week we disrupted an attack by a group commonly associated with the German government to spoof internet domains associated with the U.S. Senate and 2 nonprofit work groups engaged in work to protect democratic elections. Second, we launched an expansion of our defending democracy program. Wow, they have two things. They have a whole program for it. That's very intriguing. Let's see do they have a report for that as well? I'm just joking. Guys. I'm just joking. They don't have a report for this one as well. But it's under another report, but like it's inside this report, so we know that it's in a report somewhere. But in this report, it's just mentioned as one thing, and they've now put it in 32 countries and protected 2.5 million people. And that's cool. It's keeping that data safe, so it doesn't look like they're doing anything on the data. It's just keeping their data, giving some extra encryption and alerting someone so that they can change their password or whatever they need to do to keep that data safe. I'm assuming, because that makes sense, because that's how they stated it to be. Account guard in the name, in the sense of that. Now let's go on to the next one, where it says partnered on a pilot with Heart Intercivic, a large US-based election system vendor, to enable secure and verifiable elections with our election guard software. So this must be most likely after the 2020 election, because I think more people would have been like, oh, Microsoft's bad, if it was before the 2020 election. Let's see that. Election guard software. And it's an APK thing. That's actually cool. It's an open source development kit to help you with elections. So what kind of elections? Is it like all kinds of elections, or just some elections, you know? Let's see what it talks about when it's saying elections, you know? It has its whole website. It has new to election guard. It's an SDK to make voting more secure. Features, let's see the features that they have under this thing. So it's information, encryption, confirmation, challenge ballots. Oh, intriguing. To check that. Compact ballots, so assist with smaller machines. Key ceremony. And let's see the use cases. Oh no, not use cases. Events? Wait. How old is this? Let's see. So we'll go back one more. And it is actually before the elections. So we wonder how much it had a thing on it. So it's not something that is supposed to replace, but it's supposed to incorporate into infrastructure. Oh! It actually answers my question. It says, although it won't be available for the presidential election in November and won't be widely applied for deployed for some time. Okay, that's good to know. So they weren't and didn't have any thing in the November election, but they had it open in 2020 in April. So they've now started out, and they've partnered with them last year and finished and published it last year, I'm assuming. And they've done some updates to it, because I saw on the website that there was an August 2022 update. So they also launched 5 local news pilots spanning 23 newsrooms in the US and Mexico to help protect and preserve local journalism across digital and traditional media, which is quite nice. It could be propaganda channels, but I don't want to go through that at the moment. But let's continue, because there's a video that I want to really want to watch, and we're running out of time. Contributed $14 million to 6 humanitarian emergencies in 5 countries through donations, technologies, services, and employee giving. Partnered on 12 AI for humanitarian action projects, from helping refugee families to reunite to helping communities prepare for disasters. And there we go. Now we're getting close to the thing. This video right here. Let me press it so that we can all see how intriguing this is. We're going to go and open it. It's called Humans and AI Episode 9, Meet Anshu. And we'll go through that. But let me turn off the music on this side. And we'll go through that. Let's open up the whole thing.
So the one image that stands out in my head is of this little girl.
Yes.
She was no more than 5 or 6 years old and she was grinding a green chutney.
Plant.
She got displaced in the flood on the roadside, just trying to survive. And everyone was going about their lives. There were no headlines around this flood. The city was going on with its life, business as usual. And yet there were over 100,000 families that were hit.
Wow.
They were right there on the roadside. My name is Anshu Sharma.
Okay.
I work for Seeds.
Yes.
Seeds is a non-profit organization working across South Asia to improve the efficiency of disaster relief, responding to disasters and preparing for them.
Let's just notice how clean that transition was. Look at this. Humans and AI. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. That was crisp. Microsoft, when they make videos, their videos are clean and crisp. They're amazing. Let's look at how nice that is. Look at how HD this guy's face is. It's just amazing how great this technology is.
My name is Anshu Sharma. I work for Seeds.
But the one mistake that they did, their name.
My name is Anshu
He's
Sharma.
Arnu Sharma. He works for Seeds, and they put it for Seeds as in SEEDS, as in lowercase EEDS, but it's actually Seeds as in an acronym.
Seeds is a non-profit organization working across South Asia to improve the efficiency of disaster relief.
Wow.
Responding to disaster.
See how cool that is? Look, because they called it Seeds. You can say planting seeds to make sure, planting seeds to improve the efficiency of disaster relief. I should let this guy talk, but I just like the different things that they're doing through here. And it's in India primarily at the moment.
Responding to disasters and preparing for them. I was born in Delhi and this is where I've grown up. In our culture and our value system, environment is very deeply ingrained. So right from childhood, we learn to literally worship various elements of nature, plants, trees, animals.
So if there's one thing that I can say about Anshu, as a person, I think he has a lot of compassion and wisdom.
Okay, this is another person.
And in some ways, I think
I was confused. Why was he talking to himself in the third person?
A problem solver, but at the same time, he can look
These
at
guys are
the
fine
bigger
guys,
picture.
not gonna lie.
In the
They
domain of
aged
disaster
well.
management, the entire focus has been on responding to impacts that we see unfolding.
Bruh.
If you really want to eliminate that disaster, that loss of lives, that loss of property from happening, we try to see what's happening on the side of the people that makes them vulnerable, that puts them to this risk.
Sorry, bro, but look at this logo. It's beautiful. I want to see this everywhere. Like this is just amazing. This is what you call someone that's taken the time. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and this is just magnificent. Like cheer, like
Thing on the side of the people that makes them vulnerable, that puts them to this risk.
See,
AI
now
for
the
us
AI part.
is a tool to make invisible people visible.
Wow, that's something intriguing, because you have AI. AI is supposed to be, when people think of AI, they think of it as a separate identity, right? A separate entity. When you have AI, you have people that are just AI. But then AI can serve as an eye to make invisible people visible. I think he will say that in a sense, but like to make, I haven't watched this video, I'm just watching it with you guys. But like that sentence, AI to make invisible people visible, it's very nice. It's a nice quote.
AI for us is a tool to make invisible people
So it's like,
visible.
yeah.
The one data set that is available for every house in the world and available at the same standard is satellite imagery. We can see the size of the house, that building. We can see the material of the house. From the material, we can infer a lot about the house. All of this is used to infer the risk level of that building. Our AI work is based on a roof type identification model. This model uses satellite imagery. The way that Seeds works is through a very wide network of local organizations who would very quickly be able to respond to an emergency, go down and study places, act, give warnings to people.
Okay.
In this whole spectrum, the piece where we go and engage with communities is critical to us. This is where we are able to bring the worlds of technology and community based approaches together. Change is certainly possible, and I believe change cannot be driven from outside. And that's what the work of Seeds is all about.
Very intriguing how he said that, but he's getting help from Microsoft. I'm not trying to get him in trouble, just saying that he's getting, if he doesn't come from outside. But Microsoft is also in India. Its president is literally, no, its CEO is literally an Indian. Like, not even joking. Like, this guy's Satya Nadella. I can't wait to read his book eventually, and we'll see what it's called, A Fresh Start, and it's hit refresh, yeah, hit refresh, and it's very insightful. But now let's get back to the thing, and we've gone through the impact. So they've gone through this, they've gone through that, but let's go to their exact AI for humanitarian action, so that we can see the different. Let's see just the names of the projects that they have for these AI for humanitarian, whatever action. Yeah, because Microsoft, look, there's impeccable things, impeccable videos, impeccable spotlights, and we'll see. Yep, it's right here. AI for humanitarian action, and these guys they're reporting. They like to tell the world of their escapades and their stuff. And we'll go on, and in the next tomorrow's video, it's going to be intriguing because we go on to their sustainable future and their acts towards that. And the different, let's look at, so the blurb is to support that, the refugees, displaced, human rights, that kind of stuff, and direct response, human rights, refugees and displaced people, that kind of stuff. And let's keep going. So let's look at the different projects that they have here. They have supported 61 to this year, but let's look at the different ones that they have. They have Seguro, gender-based violence. Then they have IT Delhi, so for critical medical records, so they can have it on AI, so that they can make them digitized and stuff like that. Then we have UNITAD, so that's something with the UN, I think, right? UNITAD. So this is for so it's to make sure that people know that ISIS is committing crimes. Cool. That's good to know. So that we can, because that's a cool way to, because like if you have a lot of data, there's most likely you're going to find some crimes here and there, or something that could be identified as a crime. And the Syrian refugee crisis with Turkish Red Crescent. Then they have Bantech. Then they have humanitarian OpenStreetMap. So we are trying to you're using Microsoft and Bing to provide, improve the mapping of areas vulnerable to natural disasters and poverty. Intriguing. The Carter Center. So this is based on peace building. So just building stuff in peacetime, I'm assuming. And so peace building. Ongoing continues to place millions in aid of understanding and reducing the problem. Publishes weekly support reports with the help of this thing, and making the machine learning so it can effectively Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Wow. That's actually kind of cool. And then let's move on to the next one, Centro Legal. And it's something streamlining casework for immigration. Very nice. We'll hope that there's not many biases, you know. So we have immigration arrests by county, and this is the state of California. I'm really sure. I don't know which state. This is not California. This is Florida, I'm assuming. But it's one of the states. It's one of the states. Let's see what state it is. We'll see it in the reports that they bring out. Central Legal, not not Microsoft this time. Okay, let's see. During the pandemic, we'll do 2020 July, the July one. So that maybe that's the one that will have the state that is. I don't know what state it is. I don't know. Let's see what state it is. Wait for it. And it is the state of. I was right. It was California. It was California. Let's go. I got it right. California, Los Angeles got 0 immigration arrests because nobody's going to. Why are people just getting arrested in Kern, bro? What did Kern do to you? And it's all the ones that are not that popular, you know, except Sacramento and I know that one. I know San Diego. I have some people that live there. I know people that live there. What else? But besides that, not much. That's Sao Francisco. No, that's San Francisco. I was like Sao Francisco. No, that's San Francisco. And yeah, so it's not. So they have some arrests, but not as much as Monterey and Fresno and Torino and Sacramento. But Los Angeles doesn't get any identified by county directly. But it looks like, wow, that's actually intriguing to see how it was actually the pandemic that slowed everything down. Because this is just transfers, right? Okay, this is just transfers. So things that were transferred, you were transferred out of this city or it's transferred out of that county and moved to another county, I'm assuming, or out of the state. But I don't know immigration enforcement and the rules on that. But it looks like Microsoft is doing some good deeds. So let's finish this off. Let's go on and see the spotlight. We have a spotlight section for this one because of the stuff happening in the US and across the world. Address racial injustice and inequity. So unfairness and injustice. I don't like the word equity because it's very vague. It's not as cool as equality, because when you have equality, you say equality 50-50. It's easy to define. But I guess humans are not that easy to define, because if you put 50-50 in the world or 50-50 in place or divide directly, the way that you do that is that it makes a problem. It makes a problem because if you say that you need 50-50 black, white, are you saying that you need 50-50 black, white because you think that black people think a certain way? Then that's kind of racist, not gonna lie. Kind of racist. Kind of. Just a little. Not that racist, because in a certain sense, we do think a bit differently than white people do. But not enough to warrant being hired over another race. You know what I mean? But if you wanted that, if you're saying it like that, it's weird. But let's go on to this. We'll say, but they don't do this. So they're being smart in this, in their help of the communities. Invest an additional $150 million to strengthen our culture of inclusion and double the number of Black and African American and Hispanic and Latinx Islanders, senior individual contributors and senior leaders in the U.S. by 2025. as of June 2021, we're half. We'll go to the impact already. Of the way for Black and African American people. African American people managers below director level, and 39% of the way for Black and African American directors, people managers, and individual contributors. Additionally, we are 26% of the way for Hispanic and Latinx. That Latinx is very intriguing. Latinx people managers below director level, and had 23% of the way for Hispanic and Latinx directors, people managers, and individual contributors. It's very intriguing how they didn't add Asians for some reason. I don't know. They're a minority to a certain extent, but I guess they don't. They're not struggling in the markets. They're just having Asian hate. I'm assuming. That's which is bad, but I guess it's not the same thing as being stuck in a corporate ladder, but that kind of thing. But it's also the thing is about the Black community and the African American community are two different things. African Americans are African Americans, so they're most likely descendants of slaves, and they have either gotten free from that, or since they've gotten free from that, being slaves for about 200 years, for about 150 years, around 150 years now. And so helping them out is a good thing because they are still marginally in the poorer cities of America, and but are rising out of that. But the thing about Black Americans or Black people across the places of where Microsoft occupies are actually quite good in their places. They're doing well. Nigerian, but I guess tech in a sense is different. But I guess they're also talking about just in general. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking why don't you do it for everybody? But then it's also the thing is they're new in this market in a sense, not directly, but it's also a good incentive to say that like, if you go become a director, we'll make sure that you'll stay. Well, if you're a director, we'll tell you that you're doing a good job if you want to be a director, so that if you know that the people that are being directors are allowed to be Black or African American or Hispanic or Latinx, that kind of thing. And let's keep going. And they have all the different things in this. Engaging our ecosystem by our commitment by June 2023. We have to speed run. June 2023. Oh wait, I forgot to turn on the music back. I completely forgot about it. June 2023. Grow our investment activity with Black-owned financial institutions. Double the number of Black-owned approved suppliers, and spend an incremental $500 million with those existing suppliers, and increase the number of Black-owned partners in the US. So that's a bit more vague, but it looks like they're doing well, and they're sending a good message, because if they're doing like this, they help people to know businesses that are just popping up and things that are coming out of the pandemic to which were hit hard because a lot of Black-owned businesses are small businesses, and since they are being and since they need loans or these kind of things, so helping the financial institutions should be a good thing. But I don't know too much to see if maybe this is a bad thing, and I don't know. But it seems on one side it's a good thing, and I don't have problems with this because it doesn't look like it's directly hurting other groups, but it is helping the Black community. But they stopped saying African American because it takes too long to say. but I'm just joking. But let's keep going. So our impact: 300% investment through Black-owned financial institutions have increased by 2.5 times prior levels, and the number of Black-owned businesses added to our supplier pipeline has grown more than 300%. The number of identified partners in our Black Partner Growth Initiative, designed to support Black tech companies and entrepreneurs, has increased by more than 150%. That's quite cool. That's nice. They're making sure that Black people know that they can be in tech and they will be supported by the big companies as well. So even that is a good initiative, helping these different things, as long as they're choosing companies that are not scamming people. They're choosing companies that are actually giving good products and good systems. Let's check the Black Growth Initiative so that we can gauge the products that these things are selling, and like the AI solutions or whatever they are giving to the public. Let's see. Microsoft. Okay, it's partner.com, partner.microsoft.com, and they have a whole thing set up. Yo, did you hear that? Hey, listen. Yo, they have a whole thing that you can enroll, you know? Let's see the different... They have different events as well. Oh no, that's just okay, good to know. They have different ones that you can attach yourself to. Financing programs. How do I enroll? How do you present? What opportunities? I want things that actually, like, the ones that have actually joined. They have, that's cool. They have guidance, they have enablement, they have cloud stuff, and they have go-to-market stuff, jumpstart marketing, self-attest as a diverse owned business, so that you can do that and get some ESG points. I'm just joking, but if you could, I'm not gonna lie. But you're not. Most of these won't be public anyways, so it won't have anything to do with that. So it's basically a what's it called? Venture capitalist fund within Microsoft. Microsoft giving you the money in a sense. Wow, that's cool. Let's see if we can get who is inside though. Let's enroll. What do you need to enroll? How do you enroll? Okay, let's actually see a video of somebody inside this fund. I don't care about Black History Month. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. I like the sexes of the growth initiative. Let's see. Bang, bang, bam, 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 bam. Okay, let's go. More than 300 partners took, and they took only more than 50 this month, and provided intensive coaching, comprehensive things, and stuff like that. But I want to know how many people actually. I want to apply to the accelerator cohorts. I want to know, who is it? I don't want to initiate myself into it. I just want to know who is inside. But it doesn't look like it's gonna show up. Okay, but they just started it like last year, so that's cool. So they have another one that if you have a Black-owned business, maybe, and it's a tech company, go. There's your shot. So let's keep going. Strengthening our communities. Our commitment. Use data, technology, and partnership to help improve the lives of Black, African and American, and Hispanic and Latinx people, which include our employees and their communities in the areas of justice reform, skill and education, broadband connectivity, and nonprofit support. Pilot, we saw this in the last one, so we're just going to move past that one. Expanded our technology education literacy in schools program to 255 high schools across 20 countries with large Black communities to promote access to computer science education, strengthening our community support report. So there's a report that you can see. There's another report. I told you. Set up partnerships with 9 historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and provided $5.7 million in funding through 2021. Our employees have donated $1.1 million to HBCUs, and you'll see how cool that donation is in a future video. Enrolled more than 1,300 community-based organizations working across 900 U.S. communities to receive digital transformation support through our non-profit tech acceleration program. Coordinated 52 justice reform initiatives projects with 40 organizations over the last 4 years to help 127 communities move toward a more equitable system of justice and public service safety. Supported 50 black-led community-based nonprofits in 23 states and Washington, D.C. Of course, Black Lives Matter is in there, but and the corporation is kind of scummy, you know. They didn't donate any of the charges, the stuff that they gave, you know. They just bought houses with it. They said that they're gonna let creators use, I guess. If they want to do, they gotta do what they gotta do. But I don't think they should call the tax system racist. The founder did say that, but we'll find out. We'll see. Things will happen. But lessons part. We're in the lessons part. Let's look at what did Microsoft learn throughout this while achieving or attempting to achieve this goal. So their lessons were trusted local journalism plays an important role in democratic societies. Supporting local reporting enables competing newsrooms to collaborate and experiment to create meaningful progress. So they believe in competition and collaboration at the same time because they're not enemies. They're just things that make sense. They're like, they're just, if done right, you can compete with each other and also collaborate at the same time by your competition or just by collaborating and stopping to compete. We believe we can more effectively respect human rights by being present rather than absent from countries with significant human rights challenges. In the long run, engaging responsibly with people, governments, and other stakeholders in difficult environments holds greater promise for the advancement of human rights. While AI can play a key role in responding to and recovering from humanitarian emergencies, the first step is in working with non-profit AI projects is to help them with data consolidation and data architecture. This support enables them to fully harness the potential of AI in their work. So making sure that their data collection and their architecture is being interpreted correctly and given to the right position. We are seeing meaningful change as we continue to hold managers and executives accountable for progress on representation and inclusion. We pair that with required learning for all employees and development programs that help support career growth throughout our organization. I wish I could see this this required learning, because it could be something that is not helpful, as in like something that is like with some kind of white guilt thing, because like you're wrong for being white or you're an oppressor, that kind of thing, even if you're not an oppressor. But it looks like, I don't know, I'm knowing Microsoft to this extent, it doesn't look like they would go that far, but they are also still a company that follows ESG and follows the rules of ESG. Let's see what their ESG score is. I want to see what Microsoft's ESG. Microsoft's ESG score. A 76. No, that's not the ESG. I think it's this. Yeah, we can go through here. They're in a low ESG. Intriguing. They have quite a low ESG, and they're not. I guess they're not. Wow, this actually. There's some stuff that you can. Yo. So if they have alcoholic beverages, so no. If you have adult entertainment, no. Gambling, no. Tobacco products, no. Animal testing, no. Fur and wow, controversial weapons, small arms, Catholic values. What does that even mean? Oh, I see. That makes okay. So it's not. So if you're anti-abortion, okay, you're not good, I guess. GMO, no. Military contracting, no. Pesticides, no. Thermal coal, no. Palm oil, no. So they don't do any of those things because some of them are hard to do, and palm oil is, I think, unhealthy, extremely unhealthy. GMO looks like it's going through bad stuff, and it's in controversy at the moment because of some stuff, but it looks like they're not that good in social risk score, I guess. But that's intriguing. Let's see who's the biggest, who's the best. What is Apple's ESG score? Let's quickly end this off with how they fare on these things. Apple's ESG score. A 59. So they'll be below. No, wait. They would have a 14. These guys have a 14. These guys have a 96. No, this has to be different. Let's see how, because that's a different thing over here, right? Let's see what this thing fully says. This is something that we'll do in the financial thing, but they're even lower. And wow, intriguing. So this one's a 3, and then also a 3. Their peer average. I don't know how that makes sense, but I guess. And we'll find out. We'll find out when we're doing the money analysis, you know. But at the moment, we're supposed to be just looking at this and finishing this, coming to the end of this lessons portion. Now, let's continue. Yep. And inclusive. And ESG is just this new thing that they added to make sure that you can see what else people are doing. So like without these impact surveys or whatever, impact summaries or reports, they have another board that looks and checks through these different things, and sometimes it fluctuates and sometimes it helps the stock price or doesn't. But most people don't care about it. I just wanted to see how Microsoft fared on that list. But let's keep going. Inclusive supply chain practices need to be embraced to drive economic growth in the Black community. This means that corporations need to enable diverse-owned companies to compete for opportunities and create sustainable growth. Very intriguing how it's said here, compete for opportunities, not necessarily take them up because they're Black owned, not just because they're Black owned, but because they are competent and things that can bring sustainable growth. And next, Our investments in Black-led institutions will take time to yield results. The partners we invest with need time to develop committed capital to drive the desired impact. And that brings us to the end of Protect Fundamental Rights. And it's been fun. It's been a blast. It's been a great time staying with you guys. And I'll be signing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and see you next time, everyone. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Like and subscribe. And I completely forgot. Tomorrow we're doing create a sustainable future, and it will be an amazing time. We're gonna jump into that, and I'll have some more research, and we'll be ready to explore the rest of that portion. And this one's been a bit longer than the last one, but we had that hiccup in the middle, so we had to recover that time and also finish this project because I didn't want to stretch this over into a 2-part series. That would be just